kind of kickstart this idea of let's get a TV show happening with all these different kind of, not the same thing every week, like a Twilight Zone.
That's not what
thing.
I heard.
Well, this was a couple of years ago. I'm saying now.
That's what they should do.
Yeah.
Or
there
should be 2 shows. There should be like a one continuous show. Like there's supposed to be this underworld thing, or it's supposed to be like between the trilogies, and it's about the bounty hunters and this sort of underworld of Coruscant. And then,
I think that's just like over-mining, actually. I think that would be the equivalent of like fracking the Star Wars world.
Well, you could get an episode out of that.
Yeah?
No?
Oh, well, now it sounds great. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
All right. No, I know what you mean. You could get an episode, but I don't think a whole series should be based on.
No, I think think of the TV show should be, like you said, episodic, and every episode should just be a different time, different place, different characters, and its own self-contained story.
Now, when you heard that it was like episode 7, 2015, what was your reaction?
Well, I already have in my mind a fantasy version of what episode 7 would be.
Yeah.
And it's probably would be terrible and won't happen, but it involved the original cast. What's that?
I kind of like the idea of the original cast.
I like it
Maybe it would
too.
be a little bit like, I don't know, like a wacky senior shenanigans thing.
Well, no. I mean, I think you would have to have a new set of protagonists that are younger, and just have the older cast be sort of like the, passing the torch or
absolutely.
whatever.
No, I totally agree with that.
I would love to see what happened, what Han Solo became and all. I think.
And when we spoke about this the other day, you brought up an interesting thing where you were saying it would be great if Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker had not really lived up to, like.
Well, you would have to do that because at the end of Return of the Jedi, the assumption is, everything was fine after this. The Empire's gone. But we all know that's not how life doesn't work, and movies don't work that way. And in order to make the next trilogy work, there has to be problems, And I think the idea of like a bunch of rebels who finally succeed and then actually begin to start governing, find that it's a lot more complicated than that, and they never, they don't quite make it, and. They have.
I wouldn't mind if they took another big scoop away from the Dune world and just made it so Luke kind of turned into kind of a Duke Leto. I'm not Duke Leto, but Paul. I don't know where he's leading us, man. This isn't really where he.
Oh, where he gets a little messianic or something like that.
Yeah, but he's almost like at odds with his own followers. He doesn't want those sort of jihads that he sees in his visions. And so I would like it if Luke maybe was leading this kind of resurgence of the Jedi religion.
But it gets away from him or something like that,
It just isn't what he wants, and so he kind of disappears.
Or, what might be also interesting if, like, one of his pupils becomes something he can't control.
Yeah.
And he sort of, becomes like the Obi-Wan where he sort of has to retreat because he's failed and he's unleashed this monster into the world. And, maybe they have to go back and get him, to bring him back into the story. I mean, I know.
And of course, none of this will ever happen because it'll probably be
but
some
I mean, I think
shitty
what's interesting,
pod
though,
race.
if you want it to work, it's like what Lucas tried to do and was partially successful with the prequels, was trying to have sort of Anakin's path mirror Luke's path, but with different choices and different consequences. You would probably have to do that in the
I think that would be great.
Where now Luke is in the Obi-Wan role.
A motif.
Yeah, Luke is in the Obi-Wan role, having to sort of contend with his failures, and sort of make right, what went wrong. And, I think it could be interesting.
I would say the only thing that I request out of this is you can surprise me, do whatever you want, Disney, Lucas. Just don't fucking go back to Tatooine. I'm sick of Tatooine.
I'm sick of Tatooine,
like 5 out of 6 movies, I just stop it. They made the world so small. The universe of Star Wars.
Well, I mean,
so small where it's oh, great.
We're going back to Tatooine. Everybody lives on the same block.
Like, oh, yeah, great.
It's like Darth Vader grew up with C-3PO.
Yeah, but nobody remembers each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I get what he was trying to do, but I don't know.
Well, anyway, I think it could be pretty exciting.
Well, we have to have R2-D2 and C-3PO. They're nice.
I hope so. They get kind of nice with it.
Yeah, they kind of do.
It's like having Dre on the beats.
But, I mean, what about just endless Star Wars forever? Like every
year, it's kind of like that
couple...
anyway.
Well,
can I go on record with my new manifest for this year, which is
go ahead.
Star Wars and Hello Kitty suck.
Wait, what? Since I've known you, you've had a motto for the year?
I mean, I love both of those entities, but I feel that the amount of Hello Kitty and Star Wars that we see has completely eclipsed anything that's in the actual canon, you know? It's more likely I'm going to see a Star Wars pancake mold than I'm going to actually see something that
like a new Star Wars
has to do with
movie.
Star Wars. It's just kind of like...
You got a point there.
It's just like wacky gags about Star Wars are actually more common now than Star Wars itself. I see kids running around with Star Wars shirts, and they're really Lego Star Wars shirts.
And you consider this to be a problem?
I don't think it's a problem. I'm just saying I'm a little over it, and I think, listen, as somebody that has explored little wacky little twists on Star Wars, I'm part of the problem too. We've discussed this. You know, we've done all that.
I ain't part of no problem.
Yeah, we've done it a lot. Like, hey, you know, it's...
Yeah, but we've done
know.
cool shit, not making, like, baking pans or
I don't know
ice
if it's
cube
really that
trays.
much different. I think the difference is that we did it, like, 12, 15 years ago, so I'm comfortable with it. But anyway, that doesn't mean I don't like Star Wars. It just means I'm a little Star Warsed out, you know?
And that ends our conversation then.
I think that might do it.
I'm going to put this guy on the show.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We have somebody... I'm sorry. Go ahead. The Hello Kitty.
There's two mics.
Oh, all right. And please introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Gabby Grave, and this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but I work for Dr. Sketchies, and this Tuesday I will be modeling at Titmouse. This is in Hollywood, and for all you artists, you can come out and draw. If you want more information, you can go to drsketchyla.com and check it out. I'll be modeling Tuesday night.
And we had some great sketches today, too, right?
Yeah,
like
we
some
did.
really
We
nice
had some
ones.
great sketches.
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And, I'm
Give
sorry.
it up for Gary Graves. She did Gary Graves. Gabby Graves.
Gabby.
I was thinking about Gary Baseman.
Sure,
I
that
always
was-
think about Gary Baseman. Big round
That was
of applause.
a hard mistake to make.
All right.
Well, thank you, Sucklord.
Thank you for
That was
coming
fun.
back again. We're getting close to the
I lurked.
end of the program, so we're going to just try to ram in as much, extra meat as possible. But what the hell did I just eat? All right. See, he brought his shit with him.
Someone said extra meat, so...
The monster pants are on. Dun, 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 dun. How's it going?
It's going all right.
What are you doing?
Hanging out.
This
trying
is
to sell
James
Seaborgs.
from Monster Pants Incorporated. He makes all those freaky horror
I'm
movies.
incorporated now.
You're not?
No.
Oh.
I think I'm in an LLC or something. Yeah.
Losers love candy. Oh,
Small
that guy
time.
too. But now, not only are you making crazy dope cult movies, you're making resin figures as well.
I am, and inspired by you. You were my inspiration and my
please,
teacher.
Go
my
on.
inspiration and my teacher.
Go on.
Yeah.
Why don't you hold them up? Tell us what they are and all that shit.
They are two of my favorite things: sea monsters, seamen. I love seamen.
Yeah.
And robots. And
So these are
they're
seaborgs.
They're seaborgs.
They're like lizard, like fishy robots that live underwater.
Yeah,
And there's a whole story here.
There is. They're the story is that they were a aquatic race on an ocean planet, and then these horrible robber barons came along and polluted their planet and wiped out all the natural resources.
It sounds very applicable to modern society.
I think it's based on a true story.
I think
in
you
the future.
lifted it straight from reality.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just made it fish people.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
cool. That's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Is this Ignite pigment?
I'm sorry?
What kind of pigment is this? Ignite?
Yes, that is.
good
that is
stuff,
Ignite.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Is this going to be a show on Adult Swim or anything like that?
Hopefully very soon.
No-
yeah,
no
no.
sh- no
I think
shit.
this is made to be a cartoon or
I
something.
think so.
You know?
Or you should just act it out in a fish tank. Put them
That-
on sticks.
That may be the first step.
yeah, and just put like a water effect on the front, and
Yeah.
you'll be fine. Shit, what the hell was I gonna ask you? Oh right, let's talk about Micronauts. You know, I recently went on a little Instagram thing where I posted I had Micronauts weekend, and I just posted like a slew of fucking crazy photos of Micronauts you never fucking heard of. This guy's collection, I went up to your retreat up there in the mountains and just stayed in there and just took pictures of your Micronaut collection all weekend. And it was like the most relaxing shit I ever did. It was like the most peace I ever felt.
We every like few minutes, like we'd be sitting around talking or something, and realize that you had suddenly disappeared, and you had just snuck off into my office
I had to update
take
the
more
Micronaut
photos.
feed. What's going on with all of that?
I'm a collector. I don't have a lot of knowledge other than
I don't
what
either,
kind of.
but people have been saying for a while now that Hasbro has the license since I think at least 2009 or 10. They've been sort of teasing like, yeah, we're gonna do Micronauts, and we haven't seen or heard anything, and I'm dying to fucking know. Like, do you think A, that they're going to be able to make anything cool or true, like that, works as a Micronaut for the fans, and turn it into something that's going to get a mainstream appeal?
First of all, I don't think it's ever going to happen. It doesn't have the He-Man Transformer sort of recognition.
It doesn't have the built-in audience.
But if it did happen, I think they would probably. I feel like they would make it for small children. I think they would really turn it into something that is not familiar to us.
Yeah, but that's what I heard off the grapevine. The only thing I may have heard was that it might be different from what you know as Micronauts.
Right.
Thank you very much. And that I don't know how to feel about that.
It's something else, is what it is.
But then, unless it's something else that's like takes it and makes it more, why call it Micronauts?
Well, I mean, why call that Dark Shadows movie Dark Shadows when it's, nothing like Dark Shadows?
No, but it does have enough of a built-in following that hopefully some people will go to see.
But the built-in following hated it.
Yeah.
It didn't do very well, right? It didn't do very well, yeah.
Did you see it? Oh, God, no. I mean, but that's the thing. But do you think Micronauts actually could ever cross over?
Yes. Well, we've had this conversation.
But now we're having it on camera. I'm just saying, does Micronauts need to be changed in order to be something successful?
No, I think a space opera with translucent people. I mean, the Micronauts aesthetic of having these metallic people could be the next Tron aesthetic. I mean, when that Tron sequel came out, suddenly everyone was, Wolverine Tron. I mean, everyone was doing a Tron. Micronauts could be that next, because it is a visually exciting thing.
It's like translucent and chrome.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love about Micronauts, and a lot of what I was seeing in your collection, all the gleams.
Yeah,
you look at that green chrome night bug guy, and you're like, whoa. It's like so, and I don't know, there's something, what's so cool about Micronauts, which might doom them, is they're analog.
Yeah.
They're not digital. It's not a digital future. It's a future that, I don't think anyway, or is it crystals? What is it? I mean, what are Micronauts made out of? Are they robots?
They're cyborgs. Yeah, they're cyborgs.
But are they cyborgs in the sense that they're half robot, half flesh? Are they just sort of more synthesized, where they're just like organic robots? That they're not made. They're synthetic people, but they're not made out of metal or anything like that. They're made out of sort of organic polymers or plastics or rubbers, but they're sentient, and they have a sense of right and wrong, and they have individuality, and that could be interesting.
I think so too.
Who made them, or did they make themselves, or are they what people became, or did people make these sort of synthetic bodies to put their brains into, and then it all sort of went wrong, or some of them went bad? And what about the Acroyers? Who are they? What are they? They're not robots, are they?
I mean, it's the same thing.
I'm not asking you to give me definitive. I'm asking you to speculate.
What is so cool about that, about the toys, is that a lot of it wasn't spelled out. It was more spelled out in the original Microman toys.
Right.
But even that, I don't know how much they went into the real origins.
But if you are going to make a Micronauts film or a TV show or anything, you're going to have to spell it out. You're going to have to commit to something, and you're going to have to figure out what that is, because Micronauts, kind of like He-Man, has a different lore that doesn't all match. There's the Marvel comic, there's the Microman stuff, and there's no story with the Migos, but there's original characters, there's names, there's an implied story with the aliens and stuff like that. Somebody's going to have to go in there and synthesize it, like what they did with all the Divergent He-Man stories. They did an amazing job of synthesizing all the different factions of He-Man.
Yeah, I'd like to see him cherry pick like kind of the best of all the different things and come up with
And then
something
make
really
something new.
cool and original.
Well, I think it would be great, but they're probably going to fuck it up.
Of course they are.
Unless they call us to do it.
Yeah, well, we're waiting.
And we'd like make something. We'd make something artistically brilliant that would not make any money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we do all the time.
Of course, that's what we're here for.
All right. Well, you did good, man.
All right, thanks, man.
The monster pants are still on, even though you're leaving the stage.
All right, thanks for having me.
And it's funny. It's like as we're sitting here talking as the Suckathon comes down. It's like the whole con is gonna be empty, and I'm gonna still be sitting here, fucking talking shit. Did you have an okay time? Wasn't too bad, right? Thanks. Yeah, you did good. Yeah, you want to go? All right, everybody that's still here somehow. Let's big round of applause for Kill. Is it still Kill? Kill Graffiti. You got to pick up the mic.
Which one? Hello? All right.
What's up? Are you still
Not much.
slinging filthy resin?
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, making rats, stuff like that?
All sorts of crap.
Do you have any samples of your work here on the stage with you?
No, I didn't bring any up.
Even though this guy that went right before you was sitting here talking forever, had his shit, you didn't think to go back and get some of your stuff?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I
All right.
suck. I'm not the businessman you are.
Well, what? You are wearing my shirt. You want to
I
show
am.
that to the camera? All right, so give me a reason to care.
No, there's no reason to care. Don't buy my shit, it sucks. But you need to keep wearing my shirts on TV, though. That helps.
It did? Did it
Yeah,
help?
yeah.
How?
I sold a bunch, like, right after. Not like a bunch, but enough.
Do you have anything to sell here now?
Right here now. No.
No.
Go to killgraffiti.com. I have crap up there now
You're
and then.
fucking pathetic.
I am.
Why would you know? I mean, you knew this con was coming.
Yeah.
You knew
Well,
there was going
I
to
brought
be.
a bunch of shit to the con, yeah.
And did you sell it?
I sold a bit.
Why aren't you outselling it? Or letting people know it exists?
It exists. Buy my crap. Killgraffiti.com.
You got to give me
Resin,
something to work
vinyl.
with here, man, because your shit is cool.
It's all right.
Even he thinks that you have a.
Absolutely.
You're in Art
Hustle
Hustle
Series
3? He's in Art Hustle 3?
Card number 420.
Dude. And that's cool. And what did you do with your sketch cards?
I did some just regular art. I did some collage pieces. I did some resin art
That's really cool.
sculpted cards.
That's good.
I got other random people to autograph my autograph cards.
Wow, that's so subversive, the way
It
you
is.
turned it on its head.
I
You're
did.
like the Andy Warhol of fucking resin sketch
I
cards.
bootlegged my sketch cards.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yes, it does. It counts. You want? Oh, anyway, okay, so. Oh, we got new people? All right, you gotta go.
Better guess?
Yeah, you did fine. You want a cup? A mug?
Yes, I do. Abso-fucking-lutely.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told you last year. Your shit is cool. You just gotta get better at marketing it.
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. You are not coming on this next year if you don't have some samples to show.
I'll bring some shit.
Yeah. If you don't, I'm not letting you on.
Well, next time you have a show, don't snub me, man. Let me in on the.
I'm not in charge of that. Talk
Right.
to him.
Thank you, sir.
What? Oh, I thought he didn't want. All right. Don't finish it. Yes, grab a microphone and stick it up your fucking ass, you fuck you.
It's big enough.
All right, what do we got here?
I got a money.
It's the first thing I've looked at any of these things you've done up close. Wait, who are you again? Karsten Caitlin or something
no,
like
it's Catlin.
Carson Catlin.
Like a tiger.
I'm surprised I actually remembered that.
I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
This is a nice looking piece. Now, from what I can ascertain here, you've taken a standard off the shelf do-it-yourself money.
Yes.
And then you've painted it, or you've cut out all these cool shapes, and then you painted the inside and the outside, or was this
Not
thing
that
already
one. That
painted?
one's already colored. Now, usually... Did I do that?
No.
I didn't mean to break
that?
wind. Sorry.
That breath freshener is really strong.
No, that one's a color. It's a color vinyl, but usually I'll have to spray paint the crap out of it.
Inside and out?
Yeah, inside.
Do you paint it before you cut it?
Nope. After.
After. So
Yeah.
how do you keep the paint from going inside? You have to mask
That's what
it?
I want. I want it inside, and then
No,
I
but I'm
paint the
seeing like
outside.
your lines are real clean here. Like the pink inside, the native color of the material is a clean line from
Well,
the painted
that's-
surface. How did you do that?
That was with a marker.
You went in and fixed this?
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. So that's a color vinyl, and then I
Pink.
cut it out pink, and then I went over with a Sharpie over the edges.
The pink part?
No, the black part. It was already pink.
So you just colored the whole thing with
Yes.
Sharpie. How long did that take?
That was 45 minutes.
You're a masochist. How much do you charge for these?
That's 100.
$100. People buying them?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's cool and all. I like it. It's got a look, and nobody's done it. When you look at it, people know it's yours. But where can you go with this?
I don't know.
Do you think about that?
Yeah, I do.
Like you want to do more stuff?
Yeah, I do.
What do you want to do? I mean, you could always make bigger things.
I could go bigger. I'd like to get, one of those 4-foot tall pieces that's fiberglass and see what I can do with that.
What about a thing inside?
I've thought about that.
What
Yeah.
else?
I don't know. I mean, I've been doing paper, layers and layers of paper, and that kind of has a neat little effect. So,
I wonder what this would look like if there was like more empty space than material.
yeah, like thin, like
Or
super
like,
thin.
Yeah, push it into every extreme you can.
Yeah.
Take it in every direction.
Here's one thing I was thinking about was taking the pieces that I cut out and then wiring those together so you have the negative and the positive. So that could be fun. A lot of work, but
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, no, I think it's cool. You kind of just popped out of nowhere, and now you're a
Yeah.
guy.
I try.
Yeah, good for you.
You want it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Actually, I do. I like this. It's something fun about holding it. You want to hold it?
No, don't let her hold it. I'm kidding.
It's
I'm teasing.
it's very tactile. There's an experience there.
It's better to be seen in person than in a photo.
And who knows? You don't have to only do that kind of shit.
No, I know.
You could do other types
Well, I
of
do
stuff.
other stuff. I do threading.
What's that?
Well, I'll sew thread into the piece and do cutouts, and then there's one over at Dragatomi. I use toothpicks.
Yeah.
And
Is
then-
it only monies, or are you going to do
No,
other
I'll do
type of
whatever I
thing?
get.
You'll do whatever you can
I
get
just
your
did the ice cream man.
greedy little hands on.
Yes, my greedy, dirty, sloppy hands.
Would you ever make your own character, or you like
That I
doing it
don't
on other
know.
people's stuff?
I don't have a character to make. So if I come across one, but I really like pushing a form to a place that hasn't been. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's one of the things that makes this work is we're very familiar with this form,
Yeah.
and you've done something to it. Like if this was a character we've never seen and we saw this treatment to it, it would still look cool, but because we don't know the original state, it doesn't have the degree of transformational
Yeah.
qualities. So it's cool.
Thank you.
It's cool. You're doing
That's
good.
very nice of you.
Yeah, well,
appreciate it.
I call it like I see it. I like this fucking thing. I like it so much I'm going to leave it on here.
Awesome, dude.
Why is this here? Did somebody what?
What is that?
I'll find out later. It's one of the prizes. It's a shit prize. Carson Catlin,
Yes,
the guy that cuts the dunnies.
I cut shit.
The guy that cuts shit. Round of applause. Let's give him a mug.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Do I get a mug?
You get a fucking mug.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
Oh shit. Wait.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Yes, well, one of those things is correct. Now I'm afraid you must get the fuck off, and we're going to put someone else on the couch.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to go? All right. If they want to go. Oh, now you want to go? Let Jack go first. Okay. Happy Jack likes to blog all day about toys. Yes, you have to clutch that mic and rock it. It doesn't matter.
All right. Hey.
Well, we all know who you are. You've been writing about this thing we do for many, many years now.
Like 7 years.
When did Vinyl Pulse start?
2000, March of 2005.
What inspired you to begin the blog?
Didn't you ask
Was
me
it
this
r-
last year?
Just to refresh my memory, was there one particular toy that made you said, okay, I want to start writing about this shit?
No. So I started collecting like October of 2004, so just a little bit before I started Vinyl Pulse. And I thought, hey, it would be cool to get
Talk
more.
a little closer.
Okay. It would be cool to get information, so I went looking for blogs that had vinyl toys, and they
And
mostly
you found there was
didn't
a dearth.
exist. Or the ones that did had been stopped. They'd only done it for like a month or two. So, like, I always wanted to start a blog and didn't want to blog about myself. So,
Thank
made
God.
sense.
That was
Yeah.
a smart decision. Well, okay,
Thanks.
I was just asking that as a setup, and I probably asked you this last time. I can't fucking remember because I was stoned out of my gourd.
Because
But
you're old.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's valid to ask this question every year. You know, especially somebody like you who's far seen. What do you think has happened in the last year? How would you sum up where this is now, or where it's going, or what do you think are some of the milestones, or has
Like
anything
state of the
changed?
scene or something
Yeah,
like
the
that?
state of the scene. Is it stagnating? Is it growing? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Is it stuck? What are some of the things you're seeing that really are exciting and new? You know, the same type of stupid bullshit anyone would want to know.
Well, I mean, I think generally the scene has been contracting for a while. I guess it depends on how you define it. You're seeing more and more resin, DIY, small run, Sofubi, that kind of thing, which is cool. You know, but it's easy to be jaded and say, oh, seen it all, done it all, the quality sucks, it's all derivative, but there's cool stuff. There's still cool stuff. But I do feel like it's maybe getting a little smaller, just not in big steps, but a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's natural. And also, I mean, that could also possibly have something to do with the global economy.
Of course.
You know, I mean, these are luxury items. People don't necessarily have money to spend. In order to buy this stuff, you have to have all like the basics covered, like fucking rent and all that shit.
You have to be a baller like you, right?
No, you don't have to be a baller, but I mean, you have to have some discretionary spending, and
For sure.
discretionary spending has contracted over the last 4 years, and it's like, so naturally a scene like this needs money. It needs customers to grow, and I think the economy will improve, and there could be a boom, and if there's more money, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people here that may have had like some good seeds of an idea, or just like, I noticed there's a lot of people here I've never heard of who are seem to be making their debut here, and I'm sure most of them will go under and a couple of them might click, but you never know. If there was more money sloshing around here, more of them might take hold.
Sure. I mean, the question is, so global recession, people cutting back. The question is, when they get money again, do they start buying art toys again?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Hopefully.
Why not?
Hopefully.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Because once you're collecting your craze, and once you manage to get weaned off, whether it's you were forced off because you don't have money, or you just decided to, I think maybe it's easier not to get started again.
Well,
I
no,
don't
but you
know.
always get new people. Like, I've noticed a lot. I
right.
mean, as I've been producing, I've sort of known who my buyers were, and I've seen like a couple of turnovers. Like, I had guys that were buying everything, and then they stopped, and then through my networks, I found out they dumped that to collection, and then another guy bought that collection and started adding to it, and then got tired, got out, flipped the collection, and then there's a whole group of new people that now need the new stuff and the old stuff. So it seems like a lot of people that get the bug to collect this stuff, they get into it for a couple of years, they get all the things they want, then they realize they fall on some hard times, they realize it's a losing battle, and they dump it, but there always seems to be a new crop of victims, that want to try their hand in it.
Right. Yeah, and I think people sometimes kind of binge when they see the stuff for the first time because it's so amazing, and then maybe they look at it and go, oh my God, 2 years down the line, what have I done? Look at all the money I've spent. Something like that.
Oh God, it's just one gigantic floating crap game.
You said that, not me.
Well, whatever. You've been fine. Are we trying to end this? Are we trying to stop? What time is it? All right, Jack, unless you want to say anything else, we're going to move this along.
No, I'm good.
Congratulations on the longevity of your blog. Not all blogs survive, so
thank you.
Good on you, and I will continue to look to Vinyl Pulse.
Congratulations on your ever-expanding empire.
Well, now,
although it's getting a little disturbing, are you going to have half the floor?
No, I think it's going to... It'll plateau.
It will?
I hope.
Okay. Why would you hope it would plateau?
I don't want to get too big too fast.
Oh, all right.
I want it to be organic.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Did you want a mug? Are there any more beers? All right. Do you want a valve cap? Wait, you didn't take the fucking mug. You ingrate. All right, we're running out of time here. Who's left on the list? We want to have the parents, right? And then Sarah Jo. We have no, because you're the end. Dove's not coming. When he comes back. All right, you guys come up for a few minutes. Sarah Jo, do you have any idea why this is on my desk? Am I signing this for somebody? All right, I can use this. Hello, John Lau.
Hello, Mr. Mr. Sucklord.
Are you by yourself?
I'm solo today.
That's not acceptable.
I bring my own
I want the
cup.
whole fucking family up on the stage. All right, now.
The order has been served.
How do I know you again?
Well, we go pretty far back. I only remember drinking a little bit of vodka with you on Coney Island.
The Coney Island episode.
It was a memorable night.
You're lucky that you were there because, Coney Island's been wiped out.
Well, I heard it suffered some damage.
Well, the boardwalk got eaten by the beach.
Well, I understand Nathan's is still there, so we can still go back for hot dogs.
Let's see what happens. But now, I know you because I am dating your stepdaughter.
Yes, you are, to my surprise.
Why does that surprise you?
Well, she's an eccentric young woman, very attractive. I get that part.
She is attractive.
But somehow you guys connect, and hey, more power to you.
Does she ever call you and complain about what a selfish asshole I am?
Quite often, but I can't share too much of that with you.
Yeah, no.
It
would be
might
wise
ruin
not
things,
to.
And
Well,
got a good thing going.
If you want to do me a solid, if you don't mind, man to man. If you ever find yourself in a position to be giving counsel to Samantha about anything related to me, just say to her, you're being unreasonable, calm down, give him a break, forgive him, he loves you very much, and you're really overreacting.
Okay, so you're really trying to get me to...
Take my side.
Okay, that's hard. It's not being honest.
Some bro
I don't know.
shit.
I'm really,
some bro shit.
I'm stretching things quite a bit by doing that.
Listen, man, I would do the same for you. We got to stick together out here. Okay. You know
okay,
how...
it's the bro thing. All right.
Does this mean anything to you?
Is that what happens to you?
Sound familiar?
Is that what happens to you?
I mean,
I feel
because
for
listen,
you. I feel for you.
Because you're dating the mother of my girlfriend.
Well, it's official. We have a license.
Look at them. They're both sitting right there, and I can see
we do have a license.
The continuity. So I'm imagining you and I have found ourselves in a similar situation.
There's some commonality that we have found.
Yes, where that icy claws clutching and slowly
it happens
and pulling down.
I've learned to deal with it. I think you're still going through some of that. And,
I've learned to deal with it.
But,
all right.
So I have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Sucklord.
Please.
You've been interviewing all of these artists. I'm actually surprised I'm up here, and I'm glad I'm lasting this long because I've seen you just like getting rid of people left and right. I feel like they can barely get a couple words on, and it's kind of cool. You're done with them. You're saying, all right, you're out of here.
Well, we have something to talk about.
Okay, well, all right. It's working?
Yeah, it's working.
But what about Mr. Sucklord? What does he have going on? What's going on in the current artist world? What's next out on the horizon for Mr. Sucklord?
I can't remember what happened 5 seconds ago, and I have no idea what I'm going to do when I get off the stage. So
you might get off the stage.
This is it.
This is it.
As far as I know, it's going to be this forever. This is never going to stop.
You don't
ever.
have that next art piece that you're looking at, that you're envisioning. It's not out there right now?
There's nothing happening except the Suckathon. I'm going to be 1,000 years will go by, and weirdly enough, I won't be tired or bored. And there's just going to be an endless succession of people, and I'm going to know all of them, and we're going to have lots of things to talk about, and we're going to be happy, and our cups are never going to be empty, and we have plenty of the little spray that gets us a little high, and there's always going to be suck shit out there, and Samantha's always going to be looking at me with her beautiful face, and the music is going to be playing, and it's going to be great, and the chair's going to be vibrating, and it's going to be amazing.
But there's fans out there waiting for the next creation.
They'll get on the stage and they'll get it like this, It's like I don't have to make art anymore. I could just look at you and
it just kind of goes
not
through.
Not even here.
Okay, I'm kind of feeling it.
Yeah, now you're feeling and seeing and knowing. You know?
All right. You got that aura going on about you.
This is some good shit.
I'm going to have to
right?
try that afterwards.
You want it? Well, you're done. This is afterwards.
No, no, you keep it for yourself. You might need it for the rest of the interview here.
John Lau, stepfather of my lovely girlfriend, Samantha. Oh, who has her card here. You saw the card, right?
I did not see the card. I did see that card as I was walking around.
Anybody want a signed Roxy Sunblazer card? She's right there. Thanks, John.
Thank you, sir.
Get lost. All right, we're coming to the closing of this thing. Yes, 5:50. I think this is the end of the line, isn't it? I'm surprised that you got this guy to actually come on the stage. Cool. It's good to see you.
Don't ruin
You
my
need to
street
open
cred.
up a little more. We're just gonna take it out, right?
We're taking it out.
Well, we know who you guys are.
We know who you are.
How did it go?
I think it was pretty incredible.
Was it?
I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fastest day of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me. Did I do okay?
Yeah.
Was this as good as the first one?
I think people had a good time.
I think so.
I mean, you're having a great time, right?
There's a whole crowd here. They're happy.
I guess it's hard to tell. I guess
I think last year I think you were a little nervous last year. It was kind of like it was all new.
And does that make it better?
This year you kind of didn't give a fuck.
I didn't.
And so it works better when you don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, then great, because from this point out, I'm not going to care. In fact, I'm probably going to care less. But we could talk about this. I mean, do you think we might do this again in some form?
I think we should always do this.
Okay, but we should always constantly...
But like you said, your reality is this forever.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It's weird how time compresses and expands, you know? It's like I feel like it took me just as long to make all this shit as it did to sit here and look at it.
Well, time is an illusion.
It is an illusion. But so how did everything else go? Did you sell all the junk?
I think we sold more than expected for a one-day show of this size. I think we sold more than expected for a one-day show of this size.
But we also had the hotline.
How'd that go?
That was wild.
How
so
much
the phone was ringing for 2 hours straight. So every time I was on the phone, I was getting call waiting the entire time.
Oh, you couldn't disable that?
Beep, beep, beep. Well, now for next year, I know. But anytime you do something for the first time, you
next
don't
time,
know.
I think we need to get an actual, like, a red phone.
And on top of that, you're making noise through the speakers, so she's sitting there.
Oh, God, that
the
sucks.
noise
Like
and
this,
music
trying to hear.
You know what would be really
everything
funny
is
if we had a
wild.
little booth? I don't know if the cinema was a success. We could probably get rid of that because I don't think anybody really sat in there and watched that shit.
I had my lunch in there.
Oh, that's cool. Well, whatever. We'll see. Whether or not we can set up a booth where it's just like operators.
I think that would be
Sitting in there.
way better, and we could even have other people because.
Do you think it's
people were-
possible to run a landline in here?
Maybe. Anything is possible. This is Pasadena.
Yeah. What? Oh, that's fine.
So.
I think something's happening.
Please get all. Get. You
I
set
think
this
I-
up. Hey! Now.
I think
Sorry.
the
This
DK
is over.
staff wants to go home.
What the fuck? Get that back here.
Who are those pink-shirted people?
I don't give a shit about the sign. I don't give a shit about anything else. But this interview's over unless that cup comes back. Or was this the plan the whole fucking time? This the gag that you set up?
Why are you looking at me?
Why are you looking at me? They've been working all day. They're ready to go home.
Here, why don't you take this too? Really? So we're
Glass.
obviously running out of time here. So
I think they're announcing that the show is done.
what are your initial thoughts about the